Hey guys, it's LNS here once again. This time we'll be bringing you another deck spotlight featuring the Scandinavian coalition for the NATO, and just a rough guide on what I had in mind for this deck. This deck was based around the infantry and the transports that the Scandinavian coalition provides. But first and foremost, let's go through the logistics. Let's go from left to right. Pretty standard command infantry. These guys command armor, pretty damn good. FOB a command a supply chopper and a supply truck, pretty standard. And this is what I want to talk about. For the Scandinavian army, a coalition, they have reserve troops, but not just normal reserve troops with only their main weapon and a anti-tank weapon. For the Scandinavian reserves, two of them, Sweden and Denmark. These two guys, they have a third weapon, a machine gun, which is normally not inclusive for a reserve troop. So this is what makes this reserve unit so strong in my opinion. They are really cheap and they can hold their own pretty well against enemies in urban areas. I went for the what do you call it? I went for the Swedish one because of their main weapon, about 600 meters in range for the Mauser battle rifle compared to the SMG that the Danish reserves have. The transport vehicle that it comes in is pretty alright as well, pretty fast. Twin machine guns, which is pretty decent, helps a little bit. And yeah, I just use these guys as either a sacrificial unit or a unit which boosts the firepower of my main troops, which I'll show in a bit. For the commando units, I went for the Jäger. Hopefully I pronounce it right. I went for these guys instead of these guys. It's because they have a long-range anti-tank missile, Sakros guided missile, 1000 meters. So pretty standard. I put them in a normal truck because I don't really want them in heavy transports because they take too long to land in my opinion. And then for my main bulk of my army, other than the reserves, I get 29 of them. Holy shit, that's a really big number of reserves that I can throw out to at my back line where an attack is less possible, but still I have to protect my command vehicles, etc. And then my main troops are these Stormers. I didn't pick the other one, the Swedish one, even though they have a really good transport vehicle with the 40mm Bofors autocannon, really strong. It's one of the only transport vehicles with 40mm autocannon. It's a Swedish transport, but I went for the Stormer because they are considered they have shock training, which improves their damage output overall. And I put them in the NM135, which is actually pretty alright as well with the 20mm autocannon. And yeah, I have 2 cards of them, which gives me 20 in total. I'm still afraid that it might not be enough, but with the help of my reserves, I'm sure it will be. And then last but not least, my anti-air, Swedish anti-air. I think this is also one of the very unique units available in the Scandinavian army. Instead of the normal fire and forget Stinger missiles, these guys have guided long-range anti-air missiles up to 2.8 km against helicopters, but obviously they have to be guided so they're not fire and forget. But then they also come in the transport vehicle, which I said was really strong for the Swedish army, which is the STRF 9040 with the 40mm Bofors. Normally I just send these guys up and then I gather all my 40mm autocannon transports to like go to areas where I need fire support. So pretty good combination overall. So that's the bulk of my army. I have another variant for this deck, which is the mechanized Scandinavian deck, which I will do another unit spotlight, deck spotlight, and also I'll be placing the Deckcode in the description below, as some of you have requested in my previous videos. So let's jump to the support units. Another unique Scandinavian unit is the BKN 1A. Alright, this may seem like a normal howitzer, but then look, HE7 displacement of 7,000 meters, but then look at the fire rate, 11 rounds per minute. I think this is one of the fastest, if not the fastest howitzer in the game. 11 rounds per minute, that is really fast. Put those 155 rounds downfield. So it might look kind of ugly, but it works really well, which is why I have them. I have two of them, and then I also have this mortar carrier. I want to make mortars more useful, so I put it in this deck to see what I can do with it, because I don't really need other things. There's no MLRS for the Scandinavian army, so why not just put a mortar, pop some smoke when I need to for my units, etc. And for my AA missile, I went with the Noah. It's the longest range anti-air for this collision. I get 3 missiles, 60% accuracy, pretty good. And then I backed them up with the Vic 40, which is an anti-air gun. Pretty long range. I only have 2 choices, so I went with the better one, but they have to be stationary, so you have to place them properly for them to work well. But they have a pretty good range and accuracy as well. And then last but not least, for another anti-air missile, like a shorter range one, I went with the LVRBV. It has like almost the same anti-air missile launcher as the infantry carried one, the Manpads, but it's a little bit less range. But it carries more, 12 missiles. It costs really cheap, but it has to be Oh, it doesn't even have to be stationary, which is really good. The other one has to be stationary, if I'm not wrong. Oh, they don't have to be stationary as well, but they have to be guided. So, which means they have to be stationary. What am I talking about? I'm so sorry, guys. But yeah, stationary guided missiles. I get 12 of them, 45 accuracy, pretty good. Just a anti-helicopter unit. Sorry about that, guys. And yeah, this concludes my support units. Let's get on to the tank section. I have the really cheap Centurion MK5 5/2 DK. Wow, that's a mouthful of words to pronounce. Pretty standard tank, medium armor, pretty good range. I don't really like to use expensive tanks, but that's just me. 2.1 km range, pretty good accuracy, pretty good stabilizer. So yeah, and then I have the most expensive tank for the Scandinavian collision with the STRV 103C. Pretty good armor, but it doesn't beat the tanks that some of the nation have, but it looks really damn cool. Holy shit. And it fires relatively fast as well, 15 rounds per minute. So yeah, not really a tank person, but I still need them in case I have to defend a point or make a push. Recon, pretty standard, very good optics, very small helicopter recon. And then I have a Marine Jaeger sniper rifle equipped with normal transport vehicle, and that's it for my recon section. And then for vehicles, I have 3 of them. I have the Allard, really small vehicle with a recoilless rifle, anti-air tank, anti-armor, just in case I need it against really cheap T-34 rushes that I've seen lately. PVR BV551 is a sucrose missile launcher, 2.6 km range, accuracy 60%, costs pretty cheap as well, in case I need more ATGM support. And then I have this. I really like autocannon vehicles. It's just me. They suppress the target really fast, and they take out other transports pretty damn fast. And this move pretty fast as well. And 2 armor, front side, pretty good, pretty cheap, pretty good range, and really useful to support my infantry if I'm losing, coupled with my reservists. If I'm losing, I send these guys up. They cost really cheap, and yeah, really like them a lot. And I get 14 of them in a card, so pretty worth. Sad to say, Scandinavian collision has pretty shitty helicopters, so I went with 2 units of the sucrose missile helicopters. The one with 2.6 km range, 60% accuracy, and they cost 50. Pretty good ATGM chopper as well if there's some armor I need to deal with. And then for air, I kind of find that their air units are pretty damn expensive, but they kind of get the work done. For example, the air superiority fighter, the very cheap ones, J35 Draken, not the best accuracy on its missiles, but it has a pretty good 30 mm cannon, as well as some rockets against helicopter rushes at the start, and no ECM though, so that's pretty poor. But I get 5 of them, so really cheap jet. As superiority fighter for my napalm bomber, there's only I deleted it accidentally. There's only one sadly, which is the starfighter. Really good bomb load, but it has no ECM and it's pretty damn slow. So use them wisely because you only get 2 of them. But there's 4 340 kg bombs, napalm bombs. So I like them quite a lot. They're really useful if you can keep them alive. And yeah, and then I have the F-16s. I have 3 of them. Hold on, let me put them properly. 3 F-16s. The first one is the air superiority one, F-16A Block 15. It has 2 anti-air fire and forget missiles and 2 radar missiles. Pretty good range, pretty decent accuracy. Really good ECM, 30%. And then I have the very unique F-16 for only the Scandinavian collision, with I think it's the only collision with this variant of F-16 which have 2 1000 kilo bombs, so this will cause havoc. And yep, this will cause a lot of havoc if I use them correctly. Oh, hold on, let me 16. Yep, look at the bombs, holy shit. And use them carefully, you get 2 of them in a stack. And last but not least, for another F-16 Block 5, or Block S, I think it's Block 5. It has 12 227 kilo bombs, so really good bomber for lots of targets grouped up together. Pretty good ECM as well, 20%, same as the other bomber one. And yeah, this is my Air Force. Pretty expensive F-16s, but I think they kind of get the job done, and if you play them properly, you keep them alive, and you get 4 of these F superiority ones, rookie ranked. And yeah, this is my Scandinavian deck, and I hope you guys enjoy. And if you have any questions or requests of any kind of decks you want to see, please put them in the comments below. I'm so close to getting 800 subscribers. I think 2 more subscribers away from 800. So I really want to thank you guys for all your viewership and your feedback for my wargame videos, and I will keep them coming up. I'm sorry I haven't been so active in the past week because of work, but trust me, I'll bring more wargame content out. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Take care, guys. Bye.